Welcome to the 2023 Treehouse Champions Luncheon. Please give a warm welcome to John Holt and Olivia Ty.
Wow. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2023 Champions Luncheon. I am John Holt, Chair of the Treehouse Board.
And I'm Olivia Ty, President of the Treehouse Ambassador Board. There is so much to celebrate today. In fact, there are three big reasons that punctuate today's event. First of all, we are back in person. Finally. There are nearly 1,000 of us in the room today and hundreds more tuning in from across the state and beyond. A big, warm welcome to all of you.
Second, we are kicking off the 35th anniversary of Treehouse. It's a great thing. Third, today, Dawn Rains, who has been at Treehouse for 14 years, will take the stage as our new CEO. And she'll be making a big announcement that has been years in the making. Before we go any further, as is our tradition, we will offer our land acknowledgement.
We are gathered today on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Duwamish, Muckleshoot, and Coast Salish peoples. We acknowledge and honor the indigenous communities throughout Washington state who were the first stewards of this land. Throughout history, Native children were forcibly removed from their families, and the harm done continues to echo through their families, communities, and schools today. As we work to transform the systems that impact young people in foster care, we commit to keeping this history in mind.
Thank you, Olivia. Our mission at Treehouse is to create the conditions where every child who has experienced foster care has the opportunities and support they need to pursue their dreams and launch successfully into adulthood. To understand how big this need is, each year there are over 11,000 children who are in and out of foster care in Washington state. Whether you are new to Treehouse or you've been involved for many years, this next hour is for you. We're taking you on a journey from where we started to the work we've been doing, and most of all, where we're going next.
We have so many to thank who have been instrumental in us bringing back this beloved annual event. First, thank you to our honorary host committee and our co-chairs, Terry Olson-Miller and Linda Spain. We are so grateful for your passionate and steadfast support. Thank you to all of our luncheon table hosts, all 100 of you, for your passion and commitment to our mission. Your thoughtfulness, time, and commitment to the mission of Treehouse are the reason we have a full house today. And now, we want to thank the many loyal and generous corporate sponsors supporting today's event. Please hold your applause until I acknowledge all of the amazing companies endorsing and supporting our work. There are so many of you. Big thank you to Symetra and Microsoft. Thank you to Alaska Airlines, Lytle Enterprises, and the Seattle Times. Thank you to Boeing, Buckley & Associates, Deloitte, KeyBank, KPMG, Puget Sound Energy, and Nintendo. And finally, thank you to all the other companies supporting us today. We are so grateful for your generous support and partnership.
We also want to recognize first spouse Trudy Inslee and all the current and former public officials, both in the room and watching via live stream. You are vital partners in this work. Please stand and be recognized or say hello in the chat. Finally, thank you to the members of our Champions Matching Challenge pool. This passionate group of donors raised over $400,000 before the luncheon to inspire your support. Today, they will be tripling every gift over $1,000. They will be doubling every gift over $350. They are also matching anyone who joins our Builders Club with a monthly gift of $35 or $100. Let's give an enthusiastic hand and our thanks to the amazing leadership that has made today possible.
Thank you all again for joining us today. And I'd now like to introduce Katie Buxton and Amir Youssef, two of our Treehouse Fellows, who will be awarding the recipients of our annual Champions Awards.
Good afternoon. My name is Katie, and I'm so excited and so moved to see so many people here in support of kids and teens in foster care.
Yeah, my name is Amir. Katie and I both work at Treehouse as part of the brand new Fellows program. We share our experiences in foster care to help inform programming and direction of Treehouse. I'm honored to be here today.
Amir and I are here to recognize 4 awardees. Our first recognition is to bestow the very first Legislator of the Year award to Senator Reuben Carlisle. While Treehouse has a lot of fans in the legislature, Senator Carlisle has been truly singular in his commitment, passion, and insistence that we can and must do better for children and youth for whom the state has become parent. Among his many contributions, Senator Carlisle ensured that the legislature's intent to make Washington state #1 in the nation for high school graduation and college enrollment for youth in foster care is enshrined in state law. Senator Carlisle championed our very first state funding request for graduation success in 2014 and went on to champion 5 additional requests over a decade to fuel statewide expansion. The senator received this award at an intimate event earlier this year attended by his family, his peers, and Governor Inslee. Senator, we're so grateful for your vision, for your leadership, and for your commitment to the children and youth in foster care in our state. Please stand so we can recognize you once more.
We'd now like to recognize the employees at Symetra with the 2023 Corporate Partner of the Year Award. A supporter of Treehouse for the past 15 years, Symetra demonstrated their commitment to youth and foster care in 2019 with a multi-year investment to pilot our new Launch Success program. Their support allowed us to evolve this program into a powerful model that demonstrates what is possible when young people transitioning out of foster care into adulthood have the right resources and support. On behalf of everyone at Treehouse, thank you to everyone at Symetra, especially our lead champion, Sharmila Swinson. Please stand and be recognized.
We are also proud to honor the employees of GISA Credit Union with the 2023 Community Partner of the Year Award. Over the past year, GISA hosted a series of seminars to prepare our young people with the financial literacy skills they need to launch into adulthood. GISA's employees also curated hundreds of toys for youth across the state this past year, hosting the largest holiday drive we've ever had in Eastern Washington. To everyone at GISA, thank you for your deep commitment to our mission. We're very grateful for our partnership with you. Please stand and be recognized.
Our final award goes to Carla Richards, our 2023 Wendy Walters Truitt Volunteer of the Year recipient. If you are not aware, Treehouse has an entire store where youth in foster care can shop at no cost for clothes and other items they need. And Carla is the lead volunteer in the infant and toddler section, where she tends to the needs of foster parents caring for newborn babies and toddlers. Carla is known for going out of her way when shoppers have special requests and takes it upon herself to mentor other volunteers. Carla is a mainstay in our store and beloved by all that work with her, and that's not because she frequently acts as a popular candy fairy. Carla is hosting a virtual table this year and is watching today via live stream. Carla, we are so grateful for all the ways you go above and beyond to help families and children of Treehouse. We are sending you a huge round of applause to show our appreciation.
It takes many hands and hearts to fuel the work of Treehouse. Thank you again to Senator Carlisle, Symetra, Gisa Credit Union, and Carla Richards. You inspire all of us with your dedication to this mission. We'd now like to welcome Will Toby to the stage.
Hello, my name is Will Toby, and I'm an education specialist here at Treehouse. Each day, I get the opportunity to work firsthand with youth who have experienced foster care, specifically with youth in the Olympia area. I was in foster care myself before finally catching a lucky break with my dad's family here in Washington. This is why I wanted to work here, to pay that luck forward, to give youth who aren't lucky the support they deserve. The theme of today's luncheon is from little wishes to big dreams. 35 years ago, a group of social workers saw a huge need. Over and over, they kept encountering the same thing, how the small stipend caregivers of youth in foster care receive didn't cover very much. In fact, it did not stretch very far at all. As a result, the youth they worked with went without the basic needs and experiences their peers had access to. These social workers took action, raising money through car washes and bake sales, and collected money in an envelope in their desk. This money was used to fund little extras they felt youth in foster care deserved. The program became known as Little Wishes and turned out to be the founding program of Treehouse. Now called Just-in-Time Funding, this program remains one of Treehouse's signature programs. This program enables youth in foster care to have basic needs met and also explore their unique interests, removing financial barriers to their personal growth and development. As an educational specialist, I know how much it means to a young person when their request is fulfilled. With all they are going through, it is a spark of joy during a very hard time. In some cases, it is completely life-changing. Under your plate, you will find a small envelope. Please take a moment to open it and quietly read what is inside to yourself. Please stand and remain standing if the request in your envelope was for school photos and a yearbook. Please stand and remain standing if the request in your envelope was for a sports uniform or equipment. Please stand if the request was for a haircut or hair care. Please stand if the request was for music or dance classes. Please stand if the request was for a graduation cap and gown. This list is just a small sample of the array of things our just-in-time funding covers. I hope we can all agree these are not little extras. These are basic needs that any growing young person requires to be healthy, to thrive, to belong, to succeed. Please be seated. Some of you were probably confused because you opened your envelope and inside there was nothing. Please stand if you received the envelope of nothing. Look around the room. Everyone standing, 40% of the room represents the unmet need. These are the youth we are not able to provide just-in-time funding to because the need far outweighs the funding we have. Please be seated. Imagine being one of the youth in foster care who gets the envelope of nothing. Actually, that was me. When I was in the system in California, I didn't have Treehouse. I was in kinship care a couple of times, then homeless, before settling into a group home. The entire time, I longed to be able to do what I saw other kids doing. I wanted to learn Taekwondo and take Korean classes like my cousins. But no, I didn't get that opportunity to connect with my Korean heritage. Now, as an education specialist at Treehouse, I do all I can to advocate for my youth to ensure they have access to the experiences they deserve. Over the past year, I've had the honor of working with a young man named Gabriel. His story would take a lifetime to tell. Suffice it to say, he is one of the most remarkable and resilient youth I've ever worked with. Gabriel has been in care and working with Treehouse for about a year. One of the first requests he made was for a guitar and guitar lessons. Because of the generosity of Treehouse donors like you, we were able to grant that request via the just-in-time funding program. Ever since, he has poured his heart into his lessons, learning how to read music, and even writing his own songs while breaking numerous guitar strings along the way. It is my great honor to introduce Gabriel, who will now play his original love song for us. This is his debut, his first concert. Please give him a warm and enthusiastic welcome.
Thank you, everyone. This song's name is San Lucas.
Papás que no vas a regresar, te vas con un loco que no te para de amar. Pa' vivir salvajes, libres, libres allá en San Lucas, tus ojos brillan más que la luna, sol y mar. Quiero desnudar tu alma y dedicarle una canción, darle todo mi cariño y entregarle mi amor. Vestido blanco, que ella baila, que ella baila, que ella baila con encanto. Mira, mira corazón domine el miedo que hay en ti. Deja ya de sufrir, todo aquello ya pasó. Dicho y ponte ya a brillar, que todo va a salir mejor si es capaz de vivir allá, llorando siempre en tu habitación. Dile ya a tus papás que no vas a regresar, que vas con un loco que no te para de amar. A vivir salvajes, libres, libres hay en San Lucas, tus ojos brillan más que la luna Solimar. Desnudar tu alma y dedicarle una canción. Desnudar tu alma y dedicarle una canción. Que toda tu mirada me demuestre tu amor. Desnudar tu alma y dedicarle una canción. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For those of you I haven't met yet, my name is Dawn Rains, and I am the CEO of Treehouse. "14 years ago this week, I sat in this very ballroom attending my very first Treehouse luncheon. A young man who I will never forget spoke that day. His name was Ignacio, and I was amazed by his resilience and his hard work. I was also a little floored and very impressed by all that Treehouse was doing to wrap around him and his caregivers. You see, just 2 years earlier, I had chosen to end my time as a foster parent. My two little boys, who were 17 months and 3 years old when they were placed in my home, were able to be reunited with their parents. And in their case, the foster care system worked exactly as it was intended. And while that year remains one of the best of my life, it also was one of the hardest. My experience with the foster care system had left me frustrated, angry, and heartbroken, and I was not even close to being one of the people most impacted by it. I walked out of that luncheon that day inspired, knowing that this was the work that my heart wanted to do. Fortunately, I was in the middle of interviewing for my first leadership role at Treehouse, and little did I know that that hour in this very ballroom would change the course of my life forever. Treehouse was originally called the Children's Fund, paying for all of those essential basic needs that are so important to every child's well-being and development, the ones that Will talked about just a little bit ago. In the early 90s, we renamed ourselves Treehouse because every kid deserves a treehouse. 35 years later, powered by our generous donors, nearly 200 talented staff, and many caring and committed partners, Treehouse has become Washington's leading organization
addressing the education and other essential needs of youth in foster care. We are now nationally recognized thought leaders, innovators, and change makers in our field. And with your help, we have proven that with bold, ambitious goals and a lot of heart and hard work, we can drive powerful results. In the mid-90s, we realized that to change the trajectory of kids' lives, that we were going to need to address the tremendous educational disparities that youth in foster care experience. Because of trauma, loss, and countless transitions, youth experiencing foster care fall behind their peers on every educational measure: attendance, grades, test scores, and graduation rates. Treehouse started experimenting with tutoring and college and career planning. And in 2001, we developed a groundbreaking program called Educational Advocacy, specifically designed to address the countless educational barriers that our youth experience, some of which you can see here. And when word got out, folks from all over the country came to learn about what we were doing. And soon the state asked us to take the program statewide. But in 2010, we had a startling wake-up call. The state published high school graduation rates for youth in foster care by county for the first time in history. And despite everything that we had been doing, graduation rates were not improving. In fact, in King County, where we had spent a lot of time and energy, the graduation rate was the worst in the state at about 30%. Under the courageous leadership of CEO Janice Avery, who is with us here today, thanks for hiring me, Janice. Treehouse put a stake in the ground and declared a big, bold dream. Foster youth in King County will graduate from high school at the same rate as their peers with a plan for the future. We shared our plans far and wide and asked for advice that crystallized our strategy. We raised critical seed funding from our nearest and dearest, and so many of you are with us here today. We changed the way we thought about ourselves, moving from filling the gaps to leveling the playing field. We made an organizational commitment to racial equity to deepen our ability to provide culturally relevant and responsive services. Thanks to the leadership and vision of Senator Reuben Carlisle, we succeeded in the first increment of state funding for graduation success in 2014 and expanded our footprint each year from a handful of schools to every school district in King County, to Spokane, to Tacoma, and beyond. This year, we have already served 1,300 students in 118 school districts across our state. And I'm pleased to say the results are in. This June, over 1,000 young people will have graduated since we set that ambitious goal. And together, we have increased the statewide foster care graduation rate from 36% in 2013 to 53% in 2022. I just want to point out that's twice the rate of increase of the general student population. So this is an enormous accomplishment, and we are just getting started. Our goal today is no less ambitious and bold. 90% of youth experiencing foster care in Washington state will complete high school with support and a plan to transition to adulthood. We estimate that there are 300 high school students that remain to be served in our state, and we will not rest until we reach them all. And I want to take just a moment to let you hear directly from a few of our students.
When Treehouse launched Graduation Success in 2013, the graduation rate of youth in foster care was 36%. But a decade later, Treehouse students are changing that. This year, we celebrate 10 years of graduation success and all the amazing young people we have worked with.
It's really just such a significant achievement in one person's life. It's definitely one of those core memories that you have.
Graduating is important to me because I want to leave my mark wherever I go.
I want to make my family proud and be a good role model to my siblings.
Graduation Success works because we provide holistic support rooted in one simple idea. Students are the drivers of their goals.
It's the first step of me becoming successful later on in life.
I want to break the cycle of poverty so that my family never has to be in foster care again.
It was a very difficult goal for me to achieve, and I'm finally there. In 10 years, I see myself in law school.
And this year, more than 1,000 students will have reached their goal of graduation.
Graduating is important to me because I'd be the first person in my family to do it, and it'd be a really big accomplishment.
I'm the first in my family graduating and going to college.
I'm the first in my family to graduate from high school, and I know that it's really important to have that completed high school education for the job that I want, which is nursing.
My goals after high school is to set up a college plan. I'm wanting to do health and fitness.
I see myself with a computer science degree.
What I would like to be as an adult and in my future would be a music producer.
In 10 years, I see myself as a social worker working with kids.
It's easier to get a job if you have your diploma, and in 10 years I see myself as a construction worker whipping it on my excavator, you know.
One word to describe how graduating feels to me: accomplished.
We are committed to help every student feel accomplished. Today, we are excited to announce that after 10 years, Graduation Success is now available to every student in foster care across Washington State.
So good to see those faces again. So proud of them, their hard work, their resilience, their determination. And so proud of our staff who have walked alongside over 1,000 young people as they set their own goals and pursued their own dreams. From our early days of fulfilling little wishes to increasing the statewide graduation rate by nearly 20 points, we know the importance of setting big dreams and what it takes to achieve them. We are continuing to dream bigger at Treehouse so our youth can too. To that end, I am thrilled to announce that as of next Monday, with your help, not only is Graduation Success going statewide, but every single Treehouse program will be available to all school-age youth and children and youth statewide for the first time in Treehouse's 35-year history. On Monday, we will begin taking referrals from every corner of our state. Going forward, when a Youth in Federal Way changes foster care placements to Omak or to Aberdeen, a Treehouse staffer will finally be there waiting for them. This expansion is a game changer. We will be able to address the educational needs of each youth, ensuring they get enrolled in their new school and that their records transfer quickly, that they meet with their Treehouse education specialist weekly and set and make progress toward powerful goals that they set for themselves, that they can play on the football team or in the school band, and that they have the clothing and school supplies they need to feel good and fit in. Because that's what it takes to thrive and to graduate. As we embark on this expansion, we are centering 3 critical commitments. Number 1, we must effectively serve every youth. Our Chief Impact Officer, Jess Lewis, often implores us, which 10% are we willing to leave behind? Our answer is none of them. In order to achieve our goal, we must meet the individualized needs of every youth. We must re-engage the young people we have lost during the pandemic. We must provide targeted, culturally responsive services for all of our youth, including our tribal youth, our incarcerated youth, our LGBTQIA youth, and our unaccompanied refugee youth who are in this country without a parent, like Gabriel, who you just met. Standing firmly in our commitment to racial equity, we must eliminate the disparities and outcomes of all of our BIPOC youth. Number 2, we must change the systems. Our young people will never achieve their full potential if we do not address the barriers that they experience in the education, the foster care, and the juvenile legal system. Until students in foster care do not change placements in schools up to 12 times, until they are not suspended and expelled at 4 times the rate of their peers, and until they do not make up 40% of the incarcerated youth in our state, we have critical work to do. Together, we intend to not only increase the high school graduation rate, but to end the foster care to prison pipeline once and for all. And finally, number 3, we must lead the nation. There is not another organization of Treehouse's scope, expertise, and scale in this country. We have learned a lot on our journey, and we look forward to sharing our expertise to improve outcomes for students experiencing foster care across our nation. We are proud that our work has in part inspired a group of national funders to invest in a strategy to improve education outcomes for highly mobile students at the federal level, and that we are a key partner in this national effort, serving as advisors to the U.S. Department of Education. Kids come into foster care through no fault of their own. They are the kids for whom the state has stepped in to become parent. The state doesn't make a great parent. At Treehouse, we believe that we all have a special responsibility to youth in foster care to ensure that they have the opportunity to determine their own future and pursue their own dreams. Our community has been by our side every step of the way for 35 years. We would not be here today if it were not for your faith, your trust, and your willingness to step boldly forward with us. I hope we can count on you today to step boldly forward again. We have a lot of work to do together. Before I close, I want to take a special moment to thank the incredible staff of Treehouse today and throughout our journey. Your passion, unwavering dedication, and commitment to innovating is the reason that we have so much to celebrate today. My heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. I'm so proud of all we've accomplished and cannot wait to make all of our big dreams come true together. And now we have a special video featuring two incredible women as they reflect on their experiences within the foster care system.
Hi, I'm Tosh. Nice to meet you, Maya. Me too. Do you want to go inside?
Sure.
Okay, so here we are. It's really cool. It's a really beautiful studio. Yeah, it's so nice. Oh, I'm excited to talk to you and get to know you. I'm sitting here.
Yes.
Is this good? Like a pillow? Okay, cool. Maya, tell me like a little bit about who you are and like what you enjoy, and what you do.
Well, I'll start with my job. I work at Treehouse. I'm a fellow. I feel really blessed and lucky to have been able to be a part of Treehouse, and especially being the first group of fellows. This is like a new thing that they're doing. Our opinions really seem to matter, and that feels really good. It feels really empowering to be in a room with like people who are providing services to other foster kids. As for like sort of my interests, I really like art. I'm very artistic. I love poetry. I love writing.
I love that your connection to Treehouse brought you back to Treehouse and that you are now working for them. I take pictures, and it's so funny because I remember being little and like looking through these photo albums at my foster mom's house and like imagining the stories and stuff. And the only thing I ever wanted for Christmas was a camera. I got that camera when I was 12 from Treehouse from a holiday magic program. And that camera at 12 has brought me to this moment at 40, where I am a professional photographer and content creator. It's so special to hear about how your story through Treehouse has brought you full circle, and how my story through Treehouse has also brought me full circle in my career. So Maya, tell me a little bit about just like what it was like growing up as Maya, like little Maya. What was she like?
I was adopted when I was 3 months old, and I was adopted by an older woman. One of my first memories that I ever had was my mom teaching me how to dial 911 just in case she didn't wake up in the morning. Experience of being little baby Maya was being a caretaker. Ever since I can remember, I was a caretaker for somebody else, including my own mother. She passed away when I was 12, and so I kind of grew up also, you know, being very independent, and at that age solidified that I am the only one really looking out for me.
I feel like as I'm listening to you talk, like I feel like I'm hearing my own story back.
Reflected, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, like, it's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair that we, as I'm raising my own kids, like, it's just not fair that we had the responsibility of caring for and nurturing our own selves and guiding ourselves. I feel like I don't think I even realized how much I missed out on until I started raising my own kids. I was reading about what it means to mother, like what does it mean to be a mom, and it means to be protected and to be guided and to be nurtured. And I think it's less about being taught job skills. Like those things are all beautiful, but I think like we are missing fundamental principles of just like existing in the world that we should have, regardless of whether we are in care or out of care. You know, there should be people that are providing those things for us. I've had like a lot of life changes over the last 6 months. I found my father after 40 years and found out I'm the oldest of like 5 girls. And I've had to like reintroduce myself to myself, and I've had to almost make a choice about what stories I'm going to continue to carry forward and what stories I'm going to let go of. What has like your connection to Treehouse done for making you feel validated and valued?
Treehouse made me feel human again after feeling like maybe I wasn't treated as a human. I lived in a foster home where they had me sleeping on a couple blankets on the floor, and that really does something to your self-esteem. For me, Treehouse like really made me feel special and made me feel human again, because their holiday magic program really like made every year it makes my year. And getting that gift makes me feel like I'm not just a statistic on a piece of paper. I've always been about if I can share my story, I always will, because foster care alumni are the only people who can speak from experience how the system influenced them and, you know, solidify that change needs to happen so we don't have a repeat of traumatized kids turning into traumatized adults. And then, you know, I just think it's very necessary.
I agree. And I also think it's important to share our stories, like you sharing your stories and being a light for folks at Treehouse, because we need to show other young kids who go through the system that their path is not defined for them.
I think that where you originate from should not matter at all. You should have the life you want just because you want it, because you are a human on this planet and you deserve the same opportunities. So that's why I speak up, because I want my younger siblings coming in to have that opportunity to be successful, to do what they want because it makes them happy and no other reason. There was nobody to teach us how to be loved and how to love ourselves. I struggle a lot with loving myself.
And I'm just like listening to you talk, and I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about? If you want to do anything, you better like go after it. Like you are so smart and so wise and so aware. I just want to see you be everything that you want to be, because it's so possible. Like you can have and do and be anything that you want to be.
Thank you for saying that.
No, you can. You can. I am living the life of my dreams. I didn't think it was possible, and I made that happen, and I believe that you can make that happen too. See a smile. Wait, I don't want to force you to smile.
My sister always says that when I smile, I have such a fake smile.
I think you're beautiful. Can you go up to the top of these stairs and just kind of work your way down?
I'm definitely going to be putting in the work, because I see that you're successful, and I want to be like that too someday. I want to feel like I'm successful. I want to feel like I have my life together.
You are successful now. You're just going to move from glory to glory to glory. Yeah. And what you're doing right now it's success. So you're not defined by what you've been through. This is who you are. This is how you were made. And that's what's going to carry you forward. Not what you've overcome, but who you are as a person.
Gonna cry.
Please give a warm welcome to Tosh Haynes.
Thank you so much. That was actually my first time seeing that, so feeling a little emotional right now. My name is Tosh. I'm a wife of 16 years, a mother of 3 gorgeous little girls, a content creator, a teacher, a speaker, a photographer, and a former foster care youth. The day I was born to my developmentally delayed mother, I was placed in out-of-home care, and I would remain there for 18 years until the day I graduated high school and went off to college. Growing up away from my birth family was challenging, but being a second-generation orphan presented major issues around identity. Not only did I struggle with being separated from my family, I carried the scars of my mother's childhood abandonment wounds too. I remember being as young as 5, and I would spend hours combing through large photo albums under my foster mother's coffee table. There were no images of me in those big books, but I loved imagining the stories behind those weathered pictures. Who were the people? What was happening? What were they feeling? I guess in many ways, I have always been a storyteller. The stories I made up in my head held me until I could learn to create ones of my own to fall into. Growing up, holidays were always very hard for me. I never felt like I belonged anywhere. And when you have no place to land, there's no responsibility attached to you either. My birthdays never mattered, and big holidays like Easter and Christmas, I always felt overlooked. I never longed for anything because I knew I would never get it, so I learned to be content with what I had. When I was 12 years old, my caseworker came to my house, and she told my foster mom about Treehouse and their holiday magic program. She asked me what my wish for Christmas would be, and I had always wanted pictures of myself so that I could remember what my life was like, much like those albums underneath the coffee table, so I asked for a camera. That was the Christmas that would change my life forever. I recently got a chance to sit down and connect with Maya, another foster youth, to hear about her story and reflect on our past experiences as kids in foster care. And what I loved most about our conversation is that although our journeys have been vastly different, we could both empathize and see various themes that have run the course of both of our lives. The longing for love, acceptance, community, and purpose, and the way that we found solutions to those aches in our heart through our connection with Treehouse. My answer came through a gift that I wished for, while Maya's answer came through more wraparound services, but the impact has been monumental and stuck with us over the years. That gift of that little Advantix film camera represented identity for me. It was a tool I could use to prove my existence in the world. I took pictures of everything. Y'all, I took pictures of everything, okay? Everywhere I went, that camera was with me. And when I pulled it out, I thought about those present moments, but I also thought about that little 5-year-old girl turning through those albums. And I wanted to give my future family something to hold on to. The camera not only helped me to preserve my memories, but it also helped me to hope for a future. It was the first of many ways that I could see my story woven in the story of others, and it gave me a voice to share a story to hold on to, my very own. Supporting youth in foster care is crucial for all of the reasons that we've seen on the screen, all of the facts, all of the outcomes that we want to see. But I think supporting young people in care is imperative so that this story of rejection and abandonment isn't the only one that's told. Kids in care deserve to exist in a story that doesn't always center their foster care experience, but showcases a story of commitment and love and identity and hope for a future. Kids in foster care have few choices, but they need to be empowered to choose the story of their life and the kind of life that they want to write, to take those quiet wishes in the core of their being and turn them into the dreams that they never thought were possible. With a decade in this motherhood game, I can see that the concept of the village is integral in the rearing and raising of our children. And there would be no way that the responsibility of caring for my kids would fall or ever be fulfilled by just me and their father. It requires so many of us to partner together to guarantee that my little babies have a hope for the future and a net to safely fall into when they fail. My children, they aren't any more deserving of this than any other children in the world. And it's our job as adults to stand in the gap and to come along as many children as we can as they walk towards adulthood. Some of the ways that I am choosing to do this is by mentoring young people, creating opportunities for underserved and underheard voices to sit at tables where decision-making is happening, and by supporting youth in foster care by donating to Treehouse. If I had a moment to speak to little Tasha, who actually walked on this stage with me today, the girl who felt so overlooked and so small and so unseen, so forgotten, I would let her know just how seen she is, how important her story is, and how big she needed to show up. I would tell her that wishing was okay, to use those wishes to motivate her towards her big dreams in her heart, and I would let her know that one day her story would make way for the stories of others and would change people's lives. I would let her know that she would take that little camera that she received at 12 years old and she'd build a 15-year career and a life that she could only dream of on her terms. And I would let her know that being in foster care would be the least interesting thing about her. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maya. I am a 22-year-old, art-loving, poetry-writing former foster youth. It has taken me a very long time to get to this point, but I think I finally found my voice, and today I want to share that voice with all of you. I remember my first day in foster care, the scene unfolding in front of me, watching the last of my living family decide to voluntarily sign me into state guardianship. I was silent and voiceless while I watched my family get up. There was an aching in my heart to call out and ask them to stay or to take them with me, but my mouth produced no sound. The anxiety ate me up inside as I watched the 6 of them leave, single file. Not one of their faces spared even a glance in my direction. And at that moment, I knew they weren't going to come back, ever. At 15 years old, I was alone. From that time on, I knew I never wanted another child to have to feel so unwanted, unloved, or unaccepted. It took many years of practice, but now I speak up. I speak up everywhere I go, especially for those who can't speak up right now. I hope that I can lead by example so that someday they can find their voice too. I want younger generations to grow up knowing they are wanted, loved, valued, accepted, and so much more. I want them to know that they are worthy. I want them to know that they are not alone. There are generations of people who have experienced so many similar things. I want them to know that they are important. Their wishes, dreams, and voices matter. The conversation I had with Tosh has been life-changing. As I have been reflecting, I was really shocked to see how much Tosh and I had in common. Even though with the generations between us, it was an amazing experience, and Tosh is truly amazing. She has given me so much hope for my future. I know that my generation can and will continue to follow the path that Tosh's generation has started paving. I know the path will only continue to be made easier for others who will come after us because of the hard work that people like everyone here in this room are doing. You have shown me that I should believe more in myself and my abilities. I see how successful Tosh is, and that really inspires me to be successful. That inspires me to tell every single foster kid that they can be successful too. Well, Tosh is living proof, and I think that's a pretty good example. I feel like our conversation was invaluable, and I am so grateful for that. I am also really excited for the future of Treehouse. I have been involved in their programs for a really long time, and let me tell you, they have expanded their reach so much since I first had access. I used to live in Vancouver, Washington, which is Clark County, and back when I first got enrolled in Treehouse, there were only 2 programs available to me, Holiday Magic and Driver's Assistance. Every year receiving that Treehouse Holiday Magic gift, it made me feel like I mattered. I was a real person. I wasn't just some random girl that they forgot about. The Treehouse gift, that may as well have been the only Christmas gift I ever received while I was in foster care, and every single time it was such a heartwarming moment to feel like somebody out there really cares about me. Wow. I feel great knowing that my younger foster siblings from the very city I used to live in now have access to a larger portfolio of Treehouse programs. They can now get clothes at the Treehouse store, get access to financial assistance for extracurricular activities, or even have a grad success coach to get them through school. Me having missed 60% of my first year of middle school, I think that having a grad success coach is very, very important for children and getting them through their education. Every child deserves an education. Yeah, I think that Treehouse programs can drastically improve the experience a youth has in foster care. In fact, I feel very lucky to have access to Treehouse. I know that many people who do not have access to Treehouse would really benefit from it. I also think that my 15-year-old self would be probably really nervous right now, but I think she's really happy. She's happy that she's not just surviving, because for the first time in a long time, baby Maya is thriving. She feels empowered. She feels empowered because she sees that she is brilliant, she didn't give up, and that she is working towards her dreams. She's working to make the dreams of other people come true too. She can see that generations of people are going to be forever impacted by the work that is being done right now. I used to wish that there were more people who could have helped when I was younger. Now I'm happy that I can be that person, not only for me, but for others too. Thank you guys so much.
That was incredible. Thank you so much. It is amazing to look out and see you all. It is like a homecoming to be back in this room, this community, so thank you for being with us today. I'm Sharmila Swenson, and I'm a longtime Treehouse donor, ambassador, and chair-elect of the board. Maya, Gabriel, Tash, Will, thank you so much for being here and for sharing a piece of your story with us. It takes incredible courage and vulnerability to stand here and to testify to your personal experience, to your life. You are all the very reason that we are here today, so thank you again. So I'm going to take a moment. So I'll take a moment now and ask the table captains to please hand out the pledge cards. I'll give you a minute to rip that Velcro up. There you go. So you can obviously see that being placed in foster care is a jarring, life-altering experience. And this is true whether or not you're in care for 2 days, 2 weeks, or 18 years. I hope that today we have done our job of revealing the realities of what foster care can be like. Addressing the failings of the foster care and education systems are a huge, huge undertaking. And that's why Treehouse is here. Only with your support, Treehouse is here to be the constant when nothing else is. Today we announced an ambitious goal for statewide expansion. Every single dollar we raise here today, this afternoon, will be put to immediate use in helping every eligible youth in Washington State have access to the full, vital slate of Treehouse services. And they need all of us in this room. They need us. They need you and I. They need us to champion them. They need us to support them as they step towards a future where they have control, agency, and a chance to write their own stories. And they need us to encourage them to dream big and remind them, especially on their hardest days, that their dreams for themselves are worth fighting for. Today is a loud and clear call to action, and I hope that you will help us answer that call. The matching levels are here on the screen. Please, if you can, stretch your gift. I know that you all came here today with a number in mind, but if you can do it, we're asking you to stretch and give 25%, 50%, maybe 100% more than what you were expecting, because I know that all of you were as moved by the work being done here as I was. You'll make an investment that is transformational for youth in foster care, and when is the last time that any of us could say that we were making an investment that was absolutely transformational in the lives of youth? To reach our goal, we need 25 people in this room to make a gift of $5,000 or more. I think I see a few of you out there. 25. In 2019, the last time we were together, we had over 100 people make a gift of $1,000, and this year we need about 150 of you to make a gift at that level. We've crunched the numbers, and without you, we simply won't meet our goal. There are two ways that you can make your gift. You can scan the QR code at your table, and this will take you directly to the giving site. And there you will find a link to donate. If you need assistance, there are volunteers standing by in the room with iPads that can help you with any technical support that you might need, or you can fill out a pledge form. Please remember that if your company or business will match your contribution, please indicate that when you're making your gift. Matching gifts add up and make a huge difference to us. However, the most important thing that every single person in this room can do today is to make a gift that feels personally significant. With your support, I know we can reach our ambitious goal of serving foster youth in care statewide in Washington. I'll give everyone a minute to complete your gift commitments while I invite CEO Don Raines back to the podium to finish up remarks. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us at Treehouse, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for stepping boldly forward with us, whether you've been with us for 35 years or today was your first introduction to Treehouse. We look forward to keeping you updated on our progress. Finally, you got to hear a lot about our store today, and we have a special opportunity exclusive to all of you here with us in person or online. We would love to invite you to an open house at Treehouse at the store on the evening of Thursday, April 20th. It will be a great opportunity to see our work up close and in person. We'd be thrilled to welcome you. Please watch your inboxes for an invitation. Thanks again for being a champion for youth in foster care. Have a great day.